Hello everyone! Welcome to Decor Art Channel. There are two important metrics that architects use to plan the design of your home: the front elevation and the floor plan. A house front elevation is a two-dimensional depiction on paper, which shows your house from the point of view of a person standing in front of it. While a layperson might not get the exact idea of how the house is going to appear by looking at its elevation design. House front design is one of the significant elements that architects use when planning the layout and style of a house. From a layperson's perspective, the idea of a house front elevation refers to the exterior design or facade, which is supremely important when you are planning to get your house constructed. We present some popular house elevations to give you an idea of the various options so that you might choose one of them when you get your house designed. Things to keep in mind for elevation design. A house has many elevations: a side, rear, and front elevation. Out of all these, the house front elevation is the most important as it defines what the house will look like at first glance when viewed from the curb. Hence, it is essential to give due importance and deliberation to the house elevation as it creates the first impression of your home. The main aspects to keep in mind while designing your house front elevation is to plan the open spaces, the covered spaces, and the elevation design of each floor if the house has more than one level. It is also advisable to plan the aesthetics of your house elevation while keeping in mind the ease of maintenance and the safety requirements. For instance, you might want to reduce large glass windows on the ground floor and have larger windows on higher floors. Modern house elevation design. Modern houses, in this case, don't necessarily refer only to ones that look new and trendy, but also to those that are technology-driven. They include sustainable homes that are friendly to the ecosystem and contribute the least wastage of resources. These modern homes take advantage of natural lighting, and hence, the house elevation design involves the liberal use of glass. The elevation design of modern houses is quintessentially simple with straight lines and a minimalist design approach. The front elevation of a modern house is usually characterized by simple walls, large glass windows, and ample open spaces for fresh air. Kerala-style house front elevation. The scientific principles of old wisdom come into play in the traditional Kerala-style house. Kerala-style house front elevation is well suited to the climate in certain parts of India, especially the coastal regions in the southern states. The sloping roofs allow the rainwater to drain off quickly and protect the walls from the moisture damage caused by waterlogging on the roof. The Kerala house elevation design usually has a single floor and sloping roofs. The roof has traditional clay tiles, which makes the house weatherproof and aesthetically appealing at the same time. For the authentic Kerala home elevation design or South Indian house front elevation designs, one must also use intricately carved wood in the form of pillars and window frames, which might add to the house elevation cost, but the outcome is definitely worth the investment. Colonial home elevation. A colonial home elevation quintessentially involves large pillars and a closed design, resembling a saltbox in shape. The colonial house elevation usually sports double-hung windows with small balconies and shutters. Often the walls are painted in bold colors such as red, yellow, or blue to add to their curb appeal. A colonial house elevation will generally have more than one floor, as there is a central hall inside the house, with a staircase leading to the upper floors. This type of house looks sturdy, concrete, and regal. However, it requires quite a lot of maintenance to keep it looking that way. European house front elevation. A European house front elevation boasts of high, sloping roofs that resemble large triangles. The design features liberal use of stones and bricks for the walls and wooden tiles for the roof. The front elevation design of the European house is very sturdy and requires very little maintenance. The open spaces are small and usually not in the front. The windows too are relatively small, as the design originates from colder parts of the world, where insulation is a prime concern. This is one of the smart front elevation designs for small houses too. After all, the house front design presents the first impression of your home to the world. Therefore, it is a significant item to discuss in detail with your architect so that the exterior of the house looks exactly the way you want and doesn't leave you disappointed when the construction is complete. Nowadays, before you finalize and sign off on the design, you can even view 3D animation of your home elevation designed to ensure that it meets your expectations. Climate-friendly house elevation. When it comes to a climate-friendly house front design, this bungalow in Jaipur steals the show. The loftified in sandy and white hues reflect sunlight generously and keep the interiors cool. The sleek lines and sharp angles hint at modernity, while the filigree work in the balcony harks back to traditions. Note how the glass windows have been positioned carefully to control the amount of natural light entering the house. The jutting roof and the projecting balcony act like shades against the hot sun. Rustic-style house elevation. If you are looking for a single-floor elevation design, this rustic property in Madhya Pradesh is the perfect one. The brick structure complements the green surroundings nicely, while the sloping roof design adds a quaint touch and helps rainwater to drain off quickly. Note how the spacious and shaded veranda offers space to cool down and unwind. A variety of potted greens helps to easily differentiate the raised foundation of the house. Since Madhya Pradesh gets very hot during summers, the roof juts from the main structure on all sides. Which front elevation design is your favorite? Leave us a comment. I like to think of the entryway or foyer as a preview of the rest of your home. It gives people an idea of who you are, where you like to travel, what kind of art you like, and your favorite colors. For a long time, I didn't give our entryway a second thought. At some point, though, I realized that as the first space people see when they enter our home, our entryway design probably deserves more attention than any other space. So I began gathering design ideas to make our entryway a bit more inviting. If you'd like to make your entryway feel more cohesive, try to think of the foyer as a glimpse into your personality. Start with a color, pattern, or style you love, then add in some art, accents, and furnishings that bring that idea to life. Modern entryway design and decorating ideas creating a beautiful and functional entryway that also reflects your style and personality isn't hard to do. It just involves paying attention to a few basics, then adding your own unique touch. If you're looking for ideas for decorating your entryway, scroll through the entryway inspo photos below, taking note of what you love about each space.